hello. Been waiting long? I've just been down the shore here in the Big Harbour, treasure hunting. And I guess I kind of forgot what time I was supposed to be back here. But look, I found the most amazing thing. Oh, this is a conch shell. I love finding these. You can hear the ocean if you listen. It's funny. The ocean sounds like a... Oh, there's a telephone. Hello? No, I just forgot what time I was supposed to be back. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hold on. Who's that? I have to go. Thank you. Oh, it's Theodore. No, I didn't go home. I'm right here. No one knew where I was. The whole harbor's been worried about me. Oh, Theodore thinks I should tell you about the time that no one knew where Northumberland was. Now, there's a good story. How did it all begin?
One fine morning in the Big Harbour, Theodore and Rebecca, the research vessel, were going underwater treasure hunting. They headed towards the ocean, where Northumberland's submarine would be coming home from his nightly underwater patrol. Northumberland always helped the treasure team find great things under the water. Now, at that very moment, out past the rocky cliffs that dropped all the way to the ocean floor, Northumberland was cruising towards the Big Harbour. Silently, the submarine began to climb towards the surface. In the dim light from above, Northumberland could see something in the cliffs, something dark. He floated closer. It looked like the opening of an underwater cave. His propeller skipped a beat. Maybe, he said to himself, there's something in there. Now, Northumberland knew the treasure team were waiting for him back in the Big Harbour, but he had an idea. Maybe I can find something for the team in this cave. And so slowly, Northumberland entered the cave. Where could Northumberland be? Asked Rebecca. Oh, he'll be here any minute, smiled Theodore. Northumberland was always on time. Not this time. Northumberland was exploring the underwater cave. It was much bigger than he imagined and had lots of places to look. One place seemed to lead to another, and another, and then another. Nothing yet, he said to himself. Northumberland knew his friends might be wondering where he was by now, but he decided to go look just a little further. They'll really be happy to see me when I bring back something great, he told himself. Did Northumberland say anything to you about being late today? Asked Rebecca. No, replied Theodore. Maybe he fell asleep somewhere. You see, Northumberland is a very sleepy sub. I'd better go and look for him, said Rebecca. Well, Theodore really wanted to go look for Northumberland too, but he knew there was somewhere he had to go first. Northumberland is missing, Theodore called to the dispatcher as he hurried towards the great ocean dock. He's usually back by now, but no one's seen him anywhere.
He's not the only one who's missing, said the dispatcher. So is Rebecca.
Rebecca? Repeated Theodore.
She's not in the harbor, explained the dispatcher.
Oh, said Theodore, relieved. Rebecca went to look for Northumberland.
Well, I'm glad you told me, said the dispatcher. If anyone can find Northumberland, it's Rebecca.
I'd like to go and look for Northumberland too, said Theodore. Is that okay?
I think it would be a good idea if you went, Theodore.
the dispatcher said after a moment. "And take Shelburne with you." "Shelburne?" repeated Theodore. He couldn't figure out why the dispatcher wanted him to take Shelburne, the giant sea barge, with him. "Northumberland may be in trouble," the dispatcher explained. "You might need Shelburne to help bring him back up to the surface." Well, a chill ran down Theodore's hull. Northumberland in trouble. Theodore's 2 quick toots told the dispatcher he was off and on the double. "Nothing," said Northumberland. He had finally reached the end of the underwater cave, but he hadn't found anything at all for the treasure team. Nothing, except rocks. "I bet I'm really late now," he thought. "I'd better go home." Northumberland began to turn. His nose hit the side of the cave. And that's when Northumberland realized there wasn't enough room for him to turn around. At that very moment, Rebecca was almost right above Northumberland, near the rocky cliffs that dropped to the ocean floor. She was using her special equipment to try and find the sub. But even Rebecca's special equipment couldn't find Northumberland deep under the ocean inside the cave. Meanwhile, Northumberland had an idea. He threw his propeller into reverse and began to go out of the cave backwards. He hit another rock. A few rocks tumbled down around him. Northumberland knew that if he wasn't careful, he would start an underwater rock slide. He started out again, slowly this time. One wrong move and the whole cave might come falling down on him. "Theodore! Shelburne!" said Rebecca, sounding very surprised. "What are you two doing out here?" "The dispatcher sent us," explained Theodore, "in case Northumberland's in trouble."
"We're ready for action,"
said Shelburne in his slow voice. "Well, Northumberland's nowhere around here," sighed Rebecca. Maybe he's further out on the ocean." "Almost out," said Northumberland, but he wasn't. At last he could see sunlight at the cave's entrance. And then, disaster. His fin hit a rock, and that started a rock slide. Northumberland spun his propeller as fast as he could and roared out of the cave, just in time. Oh, that was close, breathed the sub. Northumberland nosed up to float to the surface, but he couldn't. The rock slide had bent his propeller, and now he couldn't float forward. And if he couldn't float forward, he couldn't float to the surface. Northumberland was stuck on the bottom of the ocean. "No one will ever find me down here," he said out loud. "Why didn't I tell someone where I was going to be?" "There's no sign of him," said Rebecca. "Can we try back over there?" asked Theodore. "But we've already looked there," said Rebecca. "I just have a feeling," said Theodore. "Please, Rebecca." Rebecca listened again with her special underwater sonar. But she still couldn't hear anything from the bottom of the ocean. Suddenly, Rebecca stopped. "What is it?" asked Theodore. "I think," said Rebecca slowly, "I hear something." "Theodore, hold Shelburne steady." "Shelburne, lower your hook." Theodore nudged up against Shelburne to hold the giant barge steady. Shelburne's big hook lowered and lowered and lowered. Clunk. Shelburne shuddered as his hook hit hard steel.
I found him!
He shouted. Can you grab onto him? Called Rebecca.
I'll try,
said Shelburne.
Got him!
Haul away, ordered Rebecca. Hold Shelburne steady, Theodore.
He's heavy!
Grunted Shelburne. Try harder, cried Theodore.
Here he comes!
Shouted Shelburne.
Make room! Make room!
The water bubbled and boiled, and then, with a mighty whoosh, Northumberland broke free to the surface. Everyone blew their whistles at once. They were so happy to see the submarine. What happened, Northumberland? Asked Rebecca. I was in an underwater cave, replied Northumberland. A cave? Said Theodore. Yes, the sub went on. It was really gigantic, and it had lots of passageways that went forever.
Gee, that sounds exciting,
said Shelburne in his usual slow way. We looked everywhere for you, said Rebecca. We didn't know where you were. We were all really worried about you, added Theodore. Well, I was worried too, said Northumberland. At first, I didn't think I could get out of the cave. And then I started a rock slide and bent my propeller. It's a good thing we found you, smiled Rebecca. I guess I should have told everyone where I was, said Northumberland sadly. I only wanted to find something great for the treasure team, but I didn't. But we did find something great, called Theodore as everyone set off for home together. We did? Said Northumberland. Yes, smiled Theodore. You, Northumberland. We found you.
Well, now I know why everyone was so worried while I was out finding my conch shell. I forgot to tell them where I was. Where is my conch shell? Now, that's probably somebody else wondering where I was. I better answer my phone. Thanks for visiting us here in the Big Harbour. We'll see you all again next time, and I won't be late, I promise. Hello? This sounds like the ocean. Hello?
Theodore, he's a tugboat and a friendly tugboat too. A friendly tugboat too. Oh, Theodore likes to do the things that friendly tugboats do. Pushing and a pulling in the great big harbor, in the great big world is so much fun. So many brand new things to discover. Waking with the sun, gotta get the job done. Oh, Theodore and Emily, Oda, Hank and George and the Harbourmaster too.